Ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a real treat this evening. This is Suzanne with Let's Get It On. This is the interview hour, and you're not going to believe who I have got sitting in front of me. So if I tell you a little story, when I was 4 years old, my parents were into music, into the rock and roll era of the 60s. And this artist I could not listen to. Every time he came on the radio or on the television, I used to sit there as a little girl singing along. And I cannot believe here I am all these years later sitting in front of William Howard Ashton, none other than Billy J. Kramer. Billy, hello and welcome.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very good. Yeah. I'm sorry for that long introduction, but how often does a little girl who listens to music, and gets enthralled by music at the age of 4, gets the chance to sit in front of the person who was singing that very song?
Well, that's very, very kind of you. Very kind. I'm very flattered. Very flattered.
And the song was Little Children.
Oh, yeah. That was a good time for me. It was a very interesting record. A big one. Big one.
It was. I couldn't pronounce it properly, so I used to say Lickle because I came from Manchester.
Oh, yeah. Manchester, oh, yeah.
So if you lilt back into your Liverpudlian roots and I go back to my Mancunian roots, everybody's going to think we're still there.
Well, Liverpool could always be very close to my heart, And the coaches, my band at the time, they were from Manchester.
Yes.
They were Manchester lads.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it was an era, wasn't it? How can we go back a little bit to that era, Billy? Because obviously a lot of our listeners will be enthralled hearing you talk today about that time in the past. We've got a couple of questions that people have sent in to us before we start listening to your new work. With hindsight, would you have changed any of your hit releases?
At time, no, I don't think so because I know now that they were successful. I'll be honest with you. When I first recorded "Do You Want to Know a Secret," I didn't think it was going to be as successful as what it was. You just the thing is, I'll be honest with you, you just don't know what's going to happen. When I recorded "Do You Want to Know a Secret," I said to Brian Epstein, "Does that mean I've got a 5-year recording contract?" And he says, "Yes." I said, "Well, let's find a good song." Because I've been doing "Do You Want to Know a Secret" live on stage. I've been doing it all over the UK. I've been singing at the Star Club 10 times a night in Germany. And I didn't think the response was that great to it, But when the record came out, it went to #1, you just never know,
No, because you started off, didn't you? You started off quite early in your musical career. Did you ever envisage that you would have the success that you did?
No, I didn't. When I started, I'll be quite honest with you, I would have been quite happy to strum a guitar behind somebody else and let them get to the work. I was very shy, very, very overwhelmed very easily, and only the fact that on the first gig I did, I got my guitar stolen, so I couldn't afford another. I had to keep on singing. I thought the novelty of me singing in front of a band's not going to last very long. I wasn't really into it,
Wasn't you? You was a shy, reluctant performer then.
I was, and let's face it, you can high ground a guitar. When you've got the guitar on the stand, you've got you don't know what to do with your hands. You don't have stagecraft, and it takes. I don't care what anybody says. It takes a long time to really acquire.
Mm.
I'll be very honest with you. I did a tour with Peter Noon. We did like 96 shows together, and the last one was at the London Palladium. And I thought to myself, I was 52, and I thought, God, I must know what I'm doing now.
Well, it was a long education, and it still is, isn't it? Music is always evolving, isn't it?
There's always something, There's always something you can learn. There's always surprises, things that happen along the way.
And obviously, we're going to jump all over the place, and please forgive me if I do that because I've got so many questions to ask you. But kind of those days were quite heady days for you, weren't they? And all the success that you had. And then we've had the interim period where you've still been very active in music. You've still been doing lots of things. And you've got your new album today. So what was the inspiration behind this new album? Why now?
Well, you know, I've had an album about 8 or 10 years ago, which I thought did very well. It wasn't like a zillion seller, but in the circle that I do lots of my shows, which is a lot of the 60s and Beatles people, it was very well received. It was called "I Won the Fight," and you know, there was a song dedicated to Brian Epstein called "Liverpool with Love," which got him into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So I've also been sort of like acquiring, songs, and you know, when I started recording "I Won the Fight," I just kept on recording songs. You know, I had a wonderful collaboration with a guy from Long Island called Don Solenza, and we just, whenever I wasn't doing shows and on the road, I'd get together with Don and we kept recording songs, you know, because I'm always like getting in touch with people and getting songs from people. And I spoke to Lawrence Duba, one of the producers, that about a year before, and was talking about putting another album together. And then this dear friend of mine said, you know, I'm Fred, I want to do something for you because it's something very special is happening. It's the 60th anniversary of you being on Ed Sullivan. It's the 60th year of you being in show business, and you got 80th birthday coming up. And he hired Abbey Road Studios in London. What it was we did a party there with a show, and then we had several days to record. So I got with Lawrence and Jeff Burholtz, and I just went through different songs that I'd wanted to do for quite some time. And we made demos and we sent them to all the various musicians that were going to play on it so they could learn them, because we only had 2 days to put it together.
2 days?
2 days.
Wow. All those songs in 2 days?
And songs, yes. But we, you know, they made fantastic demos and got it to the different musicians that knew exactly what they were doing. So it just went off like that, you know.
Some artists, Billy, and I don't know if you would agree with me, their voice changes over their period of time. As they get older, the voice either deepens or riches. But to me, your voice sounds just the same as it did back on that track of Little Children.
Really?
Yes, to me it did.
I think it's got a little deeper, but I mean, it's, you know, it's, I'm glad you say it. I'm glad you said it's like it was, you know.
Well, it is, because there's a couple of tracks on your new album that I've kind of highlighted, which to me instantly zoomed me back to that wonderful era. I think I was very lucky to be growing up in that era because, you know, we'll talk a little bit about the current music scene when we've listened to a couple of your tracks. But to me, it was one of those golden eras where music, every song had a story, and, you know, the richness of the voices all came through in that era.
Well, you know, I think it was the finest chapter, I say, in pop history. You know, and we were going through wonderful times, you know, and things were changing very quickly. I think that the songs from that period were the best that were ever written. You know, I think, you know, I'm just glad that I was around at that time and I was part of it. You know?
Well, a lot of our presenters and a lot of our listeners, we wanted to say to you, thank you for your wonderful music, for inspiring probably thousands of musicians as the years rolled by. And it's just a privilege and an honor really to be talking to you. And we just wanted to say thank you for your music. And I'm sure that's coming across loud and clear with everybody that's hearing the new album. So shall we listen to one of the first tracks on the album? This is Are You With Me? What was the inspiration behind that one?
I played this. I had a demo of this for a number of years. It was written by a guy called Tom Hambridge, who produces Susan Tedeschi and Buddy Guy and people like that. And we're very close friends. we kind of exchanged. If I have a song, I'll send me a song. And he sent me the song a while back. It was just him on an acoustic guitar. It was nothing else. And I played it to Jeff Carehouse, and he made a wonderful demo. And I just thought it was, I thought it was very, the thing, because now I've been doing it on stage, and I go, "Are you with me?"
And I bet they all shout, "Yes, we are."
I thought it was a wonderful hook, and that's why I used it for the title of the album.
Okay, well, let's have a listen to "Are You With Me" by Billy J. Kramer.
I was proud to be a part of some very special times. Famous lads from Liverpool, we're all friends of mine. Are you with me? Just like the good old days. Did you scream and shout while the music played? Do you recall the record spinning round and round? I'm still with you. Are you with me now? John and Paul wrote these songs. It's crazy, but it's true. Even after all these years, I still sing for you. Are you with me? Just like the good old days. Did you scream and shout while the music played? Do you recall the record spinning round and round? I'm still with you. Are you with me now? Dancing with your first love, getting your first kiss. These are things you won't forget as long as you live. Are you with me? Just like the good old days. Did you scream and shout while the music played? Do you recall the record spinning round and round? I'm still with you. Are you with me now? I'm still with you. Are you with me now?
Billy, I just love all the energy. I mean, I know, we shouldn't talk about age, but you are getting on a little bit now, and it's wonderful to see you so enthusiastic and hear that passion in your voice when you're singing. It's a lovely legacy, isn't it?
Well, I thank you dearly. I thank you dearly for that. That's wonderful for you to say so. I'll be honest with you. I'm very fortunate that I've been associated with some very positive people, very talented people, and to me that does inspire you to I call step up to the plate and do your bit.
Who inspires you today?
Who inspires me today? I don't really know. I mean, I listen to a lot of different things.
Yeah.
It's a lot of different music.
Well, can I take you back to 1975?
Right.
Now, in 1975, you was a judge on Battle of the Bands. And it's going back a little while. And one of my friends was in a band called the Traumatics. His name was Terry Batt. And he lost out to the Tickled Pink ladies. And he said he was quite miffed that he lost out. And I think he asked you about it at the time. And you said, well, rock and roll was yesterday. And obviously, he wanted to ask you that question. Was it difficult? Were you funneled when you're a judge on a panel show like that? Are you often kind of browbeaten into choosing a band that you might not have channed, or did you like the refreshing change from Tickle Pink to the Traumatics? If you can remember.
Yeah. I remember, but it's very difficult being a judge. Because let's face it, I like to say I don't upset anybody.
No. Yeah.
Fortunately, you judge a competition, and everybody thinks that they're the best, or they wouldn't be doing it, or they've got a good chance. So and it's very hard on people.
It's very hard, and I think it's hard today for most modern musicians. We try and support as many emerging artists as we can, but it's very difficult for them to get their music heard today, isn't it?
Well, it is because the business has changed so much, and it's there's no longer, people are not into records the same. I know there's been a resurgence in vinyl and stuff like that, but it's a small niche of the public. Now, years ago, you would be signed to a record company, that you would record at their studios, the company would have pressing plants, they would distribute. Today, it's a whole different thing. You've got
to do it all yourself, haven't you?
You always have to do it all yourself. And then, I'll be very honest with you, what do I know about social media? So it's changed.
It's a whole new ball game, isn't it? And it's kind of, you can go down rabbit holes trying to just get your music out there for lots of musicians at the moment. So, my mum is 85 and she does all the social media. She's quite up to it, but it's quite time consuming.
It's very time consuming. Thank you. It's a lot of work, I'll be very honest with you. I would love to just make music, record songs and put them out there, and that's I'd like to finish it at that. But today it's like we're talking today about music. I'm very fortunate to be talking to you about it, and playing my music. It is a lot of work. But
it is a lot of work. Now, one of my other idols was Cliff Richard, and you two were in the charts together. With Little Children and Cliff had On the Beach. Did you find that, did you all become comrades of each other, or was there always that little bit of competition between you all?
It's what I call it now is, it's friendly rivalry. That's how I looked at it, I never really put that into it,
No. Were you surprised at how much chart success you had? And of course, there is some times when you don't have any success in the charts, isn't there?
Was I surprised? I was shocked.
Was you?
I was shocked. I remember being in a hotel on a tour. We were on a tour with Tommy Rowe, funny enough. He's a dear friend of mine. And Brian Epstein called me up. I was in my room. I was getting ready to go to theatre, and he called me up and he went, "You're going to be number one in the charts tomorrow." And I put the phone down and I lay on the bed and thought, where do I go from here?
Yeah.
Where do I go from here? And it's I was very lucky that John Lennon came along and wrote me a great follow, which was bad to me. A lot of people get They gave me a fantastic start. When I think about it, because I had Bad to Me, I'll Keep You Satisfied, Little Children, From a Window, Trains, Boats and Planes, I'd Call Your Name. Because to me, it's all about the songs. And working with the Beatles, touring with them, I had the same manager, So I had a lot of really good gifts early on.
Did you find, you mentioned earlier that it was quite overwhelming. Was there support for you? Or did you just have to run with the train and just keep going?
There was a certain amount of support, but the thing is, you still have to do it. You still have to drive the train.
Yes.
People can be supportive and kind of coax you along in that, if it gets a bit too much, but you still have to drive the train. And I'll be honest with you, with me, I was a young kid and I started drinking, which became, a bad thing. I got very, in a bad way with it. I'm very fortunate that I was able to seek help and got into a 12-step program, and unfortunately, I haven't had a drink for 40 years now.
Do you think that was a reaction to that overwhelming feeling that you had, that treadmill you were on?
Absolutely. It reminded me I remember like fairgrounds used to come to your town, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it used to always be the waltzer that went round and round, and I felt I was on the waltzer and I couldn't get off.
I can imagine. Yeah. The artists today, they crave that adulation and they crave that fame, but in some ways it always comes at a price, doesn't it?
It just comes at a price. I'll be honest with you. People go, about the success. To me, I just like to make music.
Yes.
The pop star bit and screaming girls and hair ripped out and clothes ripped off. This is crazy.
Yeah, it must have been a whole world to try and get used to. Now, you had seven brothers and sisters, is that right?
I had 3 brothers and 3 sisters.
Did they go into the music world? What did they make of your journey?
They were supportive, but I mean, obviously to them, it was a shock. I was just their kid brother who played the guitar and sang on the staircase for a hobby. And the next thing, there's 500 kids outside your front door. They were very supportive,
I bet sometimes they probably thought it was a pain as well. It was a pain and a pleasure. There's always that analogy, pain and pleasure, isn't there?
I also think that they helped keep me grounded, and I'll be honest with you, it's like my older brother Ronnie, who's 2 years older than me. Even now, if I talk to him, I'll say I'm coming to see you, or I'm coming over to England to the tour. He goes, I hope you get a haircut. You better be smart like it used to be.
They pull you down to earth then, don't they?
Absolutely.
Now, you have 2 sons as well. Are they in the music industry or have they completely stayed away from it?
My sons are totally, not interested. My son Barnaby listens to a lot of music, goes to see a lot of people, but regarding being in the business, he has no interest whatsoever. And my other son Dominic is, not interested.
No. It's unusual, isn't it? Do you think that was because of your journey, Billy, or just because they just have not, it's just not something that it's not their path? It's
not their journey. If they would have been interested, I would have encouraged them, I don't know whether I would have encouraged them a lot, but, you have to support your kids. But they just weren't, they never got into it.
How did that transition from being a guitarist to the lead vocal? How did that happen?
Well, it happened because I had a group of local friends, and they kept trying different singers, and it wasn't working. And we were playing at a social club called the Alpha Club in Bootle in Liverpool, and they came to me one day and they said, why don't you give it a shot at trying without the guitar, front the band. And we got, I think we got 6 bookings for the first time. And the first one was a club. And I put my guitar on a stand and the first set went okay. So I got a few drinks and I left my guitar in the dressing room. It got stolen. And that was it. I couldn't afford it. I had to keep on singing.
And that little spark, that ignition changed the journey ahead for you, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, but, I mean, as I say, you just don't know what's going on.
No, isn't life wonderful? As I say, I can't believe that I'm sitting here talking to you as that little girl listening to that song on the radio or the television, and here I am sitting to you. It's marvellous how life can twist and turn in different directions. So we better come back to the current day and the album that you've got out. The second song that we're going to listen to is I Couldn't Have Done It Without You, and that's kind of a ballady song, isn't it? Can you tell our listeners a little bit about that, Billy? What was the inspiration behind that? Was it, again, another song that was sent to you and you liked, or have you written this one?
No, this is written by a guy called Mark Hudson, who was written for a lot of different people. And Mark and I have been friends for many years. And quite frankly, I'd already made a decision on the 10 songs I was going to do. And then a week or two before, he called me and he went, we were talking about ideas for a song, but I said, yeah. He says, well, I've done it, and I'll send it to you. And when I got it, the song I had in mind, I scrubbed because I thought it was so good. I thought the song that Mark had put together was so good.
It's a beauty, because we're going to listen to 5 on the album, but to me, it was almost like it was mirroring your journey.
Oh, yes. I mean, he did a great job, I mean, it's Brian Epstein, it's George Martin, it's all the people that supported me. I couldn't have done it without you, which is, that's the truth. I couldn't have done it without you.
No, and that comes across in the song. Although it wasn't written by you, I feel it could have been written by you because it just embodies everything that I think you may have felt along the way in the journey that you've had.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that he tailored a great song.
He did indeed. Well, let's have a listen to I Couldn't Have Done It Without You.
I started alone on a lonely one-way street. Then you came along with a heart to rescue me. And through the years, the tears and fears, you prove what love can do. I couldn't have done it without you. You made every dream come true. There's no denying you were my silver lining in every storm I went through. Somebody help me be all right I am, and now I can do what I do. You were the one, and I couldn't have done it without you. You came from a record store. You gave me a name and a song. You opened a million doors, but far too soon you were gone. Because of you, I always knew that I could carry on. I couldn't have done it without you. You made every dream come true. There's no denying you were my silver lining in every storm I went through. Somebody help me be all that I am, and now I can do what I do. You were the one, and I couldn't have done it without you. When I hear the crowd singing out loud at my show, I've got a secret, and it's something I want you to know. I couldn't have done it without you. You made every dream come true. There's no denying you were my silver lining in every storm I went through. Somebody help me be all that I am.
I know we keep going backwards and forwards, Billy, to the past and the future, but it's because you've got such longevity in the music business. It's quite a lot to ask you, but I'm going to take you back to Do You Want to Know a Secret? And that was turned back down by another artist who became known as a different artist, didn't it? I guess he probably kicks himself now that he should never have turned it down.
Well, you know, we all go through that. You know, it's like I was in Blackpool during the summer season, and I went to see the Beatles. They were doing a TV show at a place called the ABC Theatre there, and I never asked them for a song at this point in my career. And I said to Paul McCartney, I need a song. And he sat down and played me Yesterday. And I said, I want a rock and roll song. So, you know, I mean.
So Yesterday could have been yours.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of months later, it'd be covered by every artist in the world. Excuse me.
Yes.
And you know, I mean, what do I know? But you know, I mean, I've thought about that many times over the years, and the reason is, quite frankly, I just had a hit with Trains, Boats, and Planes, which was a ballady type thing, and I wanted. You know, I was only like 21 years of age. I wanted to play rock and roll with kids.
Yeah. So you passed it over, and then look what happened to it. I know.
Yeah,
that's the fickleness, isn't it, though, of the music industry?
Well, you know, it's like, I'll be honest with you. When I went to America for the first time, I brought back to England Jackie DeShannon songs like "Needles and Pins When You Walk in the Room," and there's a coach who's passed on them songs. They couldn't see it, and yet the Searchers had massive hits. You know, you just don't know.
No, you don't. Is there a song apart from Yesterday? Is there any other songs that you wish you'd have taken or you would like to do?
It's quite a lot.
How long have we got?
There's a lot.
There's a lot, because you have got a cover in the album, haven't you? A cover song, "Jealous Guy."
Yeah, I thought that, you know, John Lennon had done so much for me in my early days, and I've been doing "Jealous Guy" in my stage show, and it was well received, and I thought it would be a good one for the Beatle fans.
It's a tribute to him, then.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to listen to song number 3. This is "My Sweet Rose," and I've been listening to them all, and I've made little notes in my own sort of amateurish way, if you like. And I thought this is kind of a rockabilly, and it's kind of a nod back to the 60s, "My Sweet Rose." Would you agree or disagree?
You know, this was written by Jeff Fairholtz, and he sent me it, and I just thought it was a damn good song. You know, I thought it was a great pop song.
It's a brilliant song. So let's have a listen to the third song now, which is "My Sweet Rose," and we'll be back very shortly to ask Billy some more questions. I guess, Billy, you've had lots of interviews in your career. And I guess, what can you ask somebody who's had such a longevity in the music business? Friendships you've developed along the way. I guess, you get to an age and you start to lose the people, don't you, that you kind of grew up with and you cut your teeth with, and, John Lennon, etc. What do you see for the future for you?
Obviously, I'm still pushing this album. I'd like to do. I still like to perform. I like doing intimate shows. No, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be doing stadiums and things. I like doing intimate theatre type things. I've been putting together a show of my songs and stories, which I think is interesting to people. I think I've heard another album down the road.
Okay, and are you going to come back to the UK to do some shows here, do you think?
Absolutely, I'd love to.
Oh, wonderful. Well, you'll have to keep us posted with that. So for anybody listening, if they want to learn more about you, where do they go? How can they find you?
BillyJKramermusic.com.
And you're on Facebook, aren't you? Because I've found you on.
Oh, yes. People can check me out on Facebook also.
They can just look. I will be tagging you when we air this interview, Billy, so that'll hopefully direct people to you as well. Anthony Hopkins has recently sort of made some very profound statements, and he says he's got less life in front of him than he has got behind him now. So is there an ambition that you haven't done yet that you would like to do?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I would have liked to have done, there was a show called Blood Brothers, which was written by a guy from Liverpool, and the music was written by a guy from Liverpool. And believe it or not, I auditioned for Blood Brothers on Broadway.
Did you?
Auditioned for it. I learned all the songs.
They were lovely songs. Oh, all of them.
I learned all the songs, all the dialect, everything. And they said, you're going to be fantastic. I never got a call back.
No.
No, yeah.
Who were you going to play?
Well, it didn't happen. But, I would have liked to have done that.
It's a wonderful story. Very sad story too, isn't it?
I thought it was a wonderful play.
Yeah.
Also, people can get to me on Facebook, and I'd love people to vote for me. The Heritage chart.
Yes, right. I'm going to make a note of that.
The Heritage chart. I couldn't have done it without you. It's number 14. We'd like to see it get a bit higher.
Right, so we need people to vote. Everybody, if you're listening, get on that Heritage chart. It's on Facebook. You'll find Mike Reid on there. Get voting.
Yes.
It would be lovely to see you have a number one, wouldn't it, in your 80th year?
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
We'll have to see if we can sprinkle some magic and get that done for you. So if anybody out there is a scout for Blood Brothers, because I think it's still running, isn't it, in London?
I've no idea.
I think it is.
I haven't checked it out in a long time, but I would have liked to have had something to do with that.
I think you should knock on the door again and just say, "Oi, you've missed me."
Are you with me?
That's it, yes. So at that point, we better listen to another song from the album. And this one, I Was Only Sleeping. Now, I've put this down as kind of a rock country type track. So if I was going to ask you, how would you define your music, Billy? Would it be rockabilly, rock country? What genre would you say it was?
I think it's just, I never look at things like that. I don't have pigeonholes in us.
No.
Somebody comes to me and it's like, oh, I like that, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I don't think of like, oh, this is trendy, so I'll do this. No. Maybe it's just the songs on this album.
It might be because obviously back in the day there wasn't a catalogue, was there, of a genre of music? It was a song, and you fell in love with the song.
I'll be honest with you, the difference is this: what I've come to realise is this: my early albums really I did for EMI were just, they were the hit record, the B-side, and spillers. Today, people didn't go out with the intention of making an album. You know, I think the first album of mine was I Won the Fight, which was the last one. And this one is another one which, you know, I set out to make an album.
Yes.
And we've just chosen songs as singles, but I wasn't really thinking about that at the time. And I wasn't thinking of the kind of music it is. To me, it's like some of it's rockabilly, some of it's ballady, you know.
You just enjoyed singing the songs, and that comes across in each one, that you hear that you passionately believe each word that you're singing. And I think that's what made you stand out for me as a little 4-year-old, is I loved that little children's song, you know. And my aunts and uncles used to sing it to me, and it would say, I think there was one line in it where it's go and play, you know,
Yes.
Don't snitch on all of these things, and they used to sing them, you know, to me. Immense joy.
Thank you.
But let's have a listen to number 4, which was I Was Only Sleeping.
All right, that's 3 tracks, 2 more, and then we're moving on.
Okay. I don't know what I'm doing at the end yet, but
Yeah,
we'll address that when we come to it.
sure.
I used to sit on top of the charts, making hit records, breaking little girls' hearts. Party every night all around the globe, drinking martinis in the Satin Road, driving around the town in a limousine. Me and my buddies were creating the scene. And then, like the night and into the day, I was understandably fading away, but I'm back on the scene and I'm starting the day. 'Cause I ain't dead, I was only sleeping. My locomotive came off of the track. I've been to hell and it's good to be back. But there was a time when I lost my drive. I fell over the hill, barely alive. A pretty little woman got a hold on me, gave me back a life and my dignity. She told me something I believed was true. She said, I'm gonna make a better man of you. And now I'm here and you can see that. 'Cause I ain't dead, I was only sleeping. Only sleeping. Only sleeping. Now I can see there's more of life to be done. I'm walking so proud, I got my face in the sun. This time I got the bull right by the horns. Life's much better than it was before. Some did me wrong, I must admit, so I'm open the truth that makes it easy to give. I've learned a lot, still got a long way to go. I'd rather stand by myself and go with the flow. Can't wait to see what life is in store. 'Cause I ain't dead, I was only sleeping. 'Cause I ain't dead, I was only sleeping. Only sleeping. Only sleeping.
One of the things that I can ask you, because you've reached that age where, you know, you accept life as it is, don't you? You get to a certain age and you accept life as it is, and you count all your blessings in life, and you count all the good things that happen, and you've learned from the past and the history. And so where are you at the moment at your age? Are you still frustrated that you can't? I know about blood brothers, and I know that's one frustration, but have you accepted that life is now as it is, and it's in a very enjoyable, pleasant place at your age?
I'll be honest with you, I'm very honest about it. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. You know, sometimes I feel I'm there. I've found peace of mind, like the song. You know, where everything's going good, and then there are other times like I'm only human, and I get frustrated, and you know, yeah.
We can't stop the passing of time, can we? That's the only thing. And you often think, if you are in that mindset, I could do so much more, but I can't, because your body tires. You know, everything sort of slows down a little bit, and that's the frustrating thing about aging, isn't it? I know my mum at 85 is exactly the same. She gets very frustrated. You know, she hasn't got great health, but if you've got good health, why not?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I look at it like this. I'm very healthy. I walk. I don't need any help. I still go to airports. I get on airplanes. I travel. I do shows. And I intend to keep on doing that. You know, I just feel very blessed that I'm where I'm at today. You know.
And you're touching many, many hearts, and you have done for all these decades.
Thank you so much. But that's how I feel, you know. I mean, they don't have to shoot me.
Well, to get you off stage.
Yeah.
Well, why not? You know, it's something that you love, and it comes across. And I think that's what's given you that longevity, is that we can all hear it when we hear you sing. We can all hear it in your voice that you are loving every moment, and you are putting everything into what you're singing. You know, from that shy boy from behind that guitar, you know.
Anymore, I can tell you.
Well, we better have a listen to another song, hadn't we? So the last one is Peace of Mind. And as you've just said, this is kind of where you sit at the moment, with peace of mind.
Yes. Yeah. You know, I mean, to me, you know, I mean, as I say, there's good times, there's bad times. Everybody has bad days. But, you know, I intend to do what I'm doing for a long time to come.
Do you think that comes from your sort of northern background? Because us northerners are quite stoic, aren't we?
I think it's a bit of that. And I just think, you know, it's I've got a huge appetite for life.
Yeah, a zest for life. Well, let's listen to Peace of Mind, and then we'll come back very shortly, Billy, and just ask you one or two more questions, if we may.
Okay, thank you.
Dig for gold, but I've found something better. As I've grown old, well, I used to lie awake at night. I felt so insecure, but when you came into my life, I knew I'd found the cure. I found peace of mind. Whatever's When I let go of resentments, life began again. I found peace of mind. Oh, I found peace of mind. Oh, I found peace of mind. Oh, I found peace of mind. And whatever it is, everybody can find. But I found peace of mind. Oh, I found peace of mind.
As I said, then you're working on another album. Is that, what kind of music is that going to be? Is going to be another kind of similar to this one, or are you going to do something completely different?
I don't know, yeah, I might be country. Also, I would like to mention that I'm going to be in England in August. I'm going to be at the museum, the Beatle Museum in Liverpool, doing a talk about my history with Rogue Best. The Beatle Museum in Liverpool.
The Beatle Museum.
Yes, that's on the 26th of August.
And do people have to, can they get tickets to come and see you there?
Yes, you can get tickets online for that, definitely.
That's an opportunity to see. So how long are you going to be in the UK for?
I'm going to be in the UK for a few weeks. I'm going to be doing something, good with the Brian Epstein documentary that they're putting together. And obviously I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be in Liverpool for the Beatle Week. And obviously I'm going to be getting together with my family and friends.
So a lot to catch up on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Billy, thank you so much for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm sure I think I've covered all of the questions that everybody sent in to me.
Well, I would just like to say that it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and thank you so much.
No, thank you. And thank you for all the wonderful memories that you've given thousands of people over the years. I'm sure I speak on behalf of everybody. We've all loved your music. We've all loved you singing. And it's marvellous that you're still doing it for us to share as well.
Thank you. You're very kind. And I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Good luck with the album, Billy.
Thank you.
Okay. That's it. That wasn't too painful, was it?
That was very nice, and thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
It was a pleasure.
You did a lovely job.
Did I? Are you Rose?
Yeah.
Hello, Rose. Lovely to meet you too.
And lovely to meet you also.
It was a good job.
We will try and I'll try and get up to see you in Liverpool. I'm going to go busily having a look now. I don't think I can get my mum up because she doesn't travel so well today. But I'm sure she'd love me to come and meet you, and I'll see if I can get up there in August.
That would be great.
It'd be great, and it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
It has indeed. You too. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you so much for giving us your time.
You also. Thank you, Suzanne.
You're welcome. Take care now. Bye-bye.